Since selling over the phone is currently by far the safest way, of course, to sell final expense, everybody's doing it. What's messed up is that most IMOs aren't even using the right leads, and even worse, most insurance agencies have a terrible presentation that they just kind of slammed together, when the whole virus thing happened. Hopefully, you're not stuck with one of those companies. Well, either way, there are 3 things that I'm going to share with you in this video that will definitely help take you from being an average final expense telephone sales agent to becoming a final expense telesales master. But first, I'm going to ask that you give the video a big old thumbs up, so YouTube keeps us relevant. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that now. We're putting out new content on a weekly basis. Okay, so let's roll the intro and get her done, boys. I'm Doug Massi. Thank you so much for watching our videos. And check this out. We're offering this new agent zip file to anybody who sticks around till the end of this video. We'll show you how to get it then. It's full of good stuff that you can use while selling final expense, either face-to-face or over the phone. So the first tip is not really a tip. Consider it mandatory. You need to stay in control of the call from the second you start all the way until you hang the call up. One of the biggest mistakes that your typical final expense telesales agent would make is that they tend to give up control of the call as soon as the client gives them any flack. Here's the bottom line. You're the professional, so you need to be the one directing the prospect to do what needs to be done in order for them to have the insurance. Don't believe the nonsense. Don't ever listen to the excuses. Stay in control, and the prospect will give you respect. Respect being the key word here. If you allow the prospect to dictate what you're doing, once you've given them that control, then it's going to be really difficult to take it back. And in my experience, in most cases, there's no taking it back. Now, when it comes time for you to close the sale, he or she is going to hold on to that control, and instead of taking your advice and doing what's best for his family, he's more likely, or she's more likely, to brush you off and just get rid of you. Be strong. Push through the nonsense. Don't allow the prospect to dictate the call. Otherwise, they're not going to trust or respect you. Trust me, nobody's buying from a pushover. And if you're too soft, they're going to walk all over you. Tip number 2, follow the presentation. As long as you have a good presentation, there's no excuse for you to cut parts of it out or even go off script. Now, unfortunately, a lot of insurance agencies just put something together once the virus came to town, of course. And in most cases, those presentations are pretty weak. If your presentation is only like 5 pages long, something kind of short, you're probably working a crappy presentation. The presentation that agents on our sales team are using is actually 20 pages long. That's right, folks. You heard it right. 20 pages long. So by the time you're ready to give the client the prices, you've built a lot of rapport, and it's going to be a lot easier for them to feel comfortable enough to give you that social security number, and the checking account number. And if you think 20 pages is long, wow, Doug, that sounds too much. Just consider how long you're inside a house when selling face-to-face. And since we're not in front of the client face-to-face, common sense is going to dictate that, of course, it would be harder and it would take longer for you to build rapport over the phone than it would for a belly-to-belly sale. Tip number 3, do follow-up calls. Guys, at least 25% of your sales will happen on that second, third, or fifth conversation. Sometimes people actually do just need a little extra time to think about it. And if you're new to selling final expense over the phone, you may not be super strong on the phone. That's just the truth. And either way, whether you're a stone cold killer on the phone or not, you're going to have people that need to think about it and will want to speak with their doctor or daughter. Or who knows? Maybe their doctor and their daughter. I don't know. Guys, I'm not saying that you should get off the phone and hang up as soon as the prospect starts with the think about it nonsense. I'm saying that even if you push and push and push, as long as their excuse is actually kind of logical, it's important to follow up and in many cases, do several soft touches. If you're using a CRM/dialer, like the one that our agents on our sales team are using, you're going to be able to easily separate your leads into different categories. Therefore, having a callback list already set up in your dialer, making the calls, well, pretty easy to call back. By staying on top of your to callback list, you're going to make sales that push you over the top. And actually, for most agents, will actually end up being the difference between you being successful at final expense telesales or you being out of the business and on to the next thing that you may not end up sticking with, just like you did with this business. The key to final expense telephone sales is to remember you're only going to get out of it what you put into it. For a copy of the free New Agent zip file, just email me at doug@ufesonline.com. And if you'd like information on joining our final expense sales team, just shoot me an email at that same address. Remember, guys, when you put the needs of your clients first, everything else will usually fall right into place. Now get out there and do something good for someone today. Happy hunting.